One of the important things to note is that this has been a hybrid delivery for this program specifically. So we do have on-campus activities that have occurred over the last few months, and that is our expectation and hope going forwards in the fall. We are trying to make sure that by the end of May, we will have defined outlooks in terms of what the program availability is going to look like, how that's going to work for you, and whether or not you're going to have that ability to know exactly what classes are going to be in person for you. And for most up-to-date and accurate information, if you want to make sure you're keeping on top of this, we do keep it up to date on our website. So please know that you are our focus. We do appreciate, we very much believe in the importance and practicality of hands-on learning, especially for talking about trades and programs that have you actually building and constructing things. Before we kick it off today and turn over to our amazing faculty, I'm really happy to announce and say that we've actually been joined by Niagara College President Sean Kennedy. And I'm going to flip it over to Mr. Kennedy real quickly, and he's got a few words for the group.
Excellent, great. Well, thank you very much, Kyle. I want to make sure I am off mute. Indeed, I am. I truly, I just wanted to say it's a pleasure to be able to join the group today. I think that nothing is as good as being on campus to see our amazing facilities firsthand and our amazing campuses, and to feel the sense of warmth and the dynamic energy that you get by being on campus. Having said that, I hope that all participants will have a chance through this virtual open house to get their questions answered, to be able to talk to our amazing faculty, and also to see some of those. There's a virtual tour that's always available, and some of the different program specific curated tours of different spaces, which will give a glimpse for those of you that haven't seen our campuses and facilities firsthand, a glimpse of the amazing learning environments that we have at Niagara College. One of the things that Niagara College really prides itself on, that we're so proud of and always focused on, is ensuring that we put our students first, and that we are a caring community. And I think I hear this frequently from new employees and new students, that they get a sense of family at Niagara College. We talk about it often, and it is really true. I always think of Niagara College as being big enough to have everything that a student could want in terms of opportunities and facilities, but still small enough so that you're not a number, and that our amazing faculty and staff will be able to know your name, support you, and that you'll have a chance to make friends, meet one another, and feel that sense of connection. It's really, really important to Niagara College. And given that I'm talking about Niagara College as a family, I should just talk about my own family, and particularly this program. I'm very proud to say that my son is a graduate of the Carpentry and Renovation Techniques program. He had an amazing experience, and I can say, as a father of a student that graduated from this program, any student that joins this program will have a terrific experience, like all of our programs. High quality, it's comprised of really high quality curriculum and terrific faculty and facilities, and then part of a broader learning environment that, as I said, at the beginning of my remarks, really is focused on students and making sure that we're always working to support our students' well-being and success. So with that, I will turn it back to you, Kyle.
Okay, I think we're ready to start our session. My name is Annette Dearling Manchester, and I'm one of the full-time faculty in the Carpentry and Renovation program. And I'm also the program coordinator. And with me today is Colin Robinson, who's another one of our full-time faculty. And we also have one of our second semester students with us. Oops, now I don't know what's going on. Megan is going to speak later on. A little bit about our program. Basically, it is that if you have any sort of interest in construction or improving existing spaces or building new construction, our program is probably what you're looking for. We also do touch a little bit on commercial spaces as well as residential spaces. So I want to just talk a little bit about the actual programs themselves. We have a one-year program called the Carpentry and Renovation Techniques Program, and it's offered in the fall, winter, and spring at the Welland campus. At the end of that 1 year, you have gained some really good skills in the industry, and there are lots of career opportunities for you at that point, as you can see on the screen. I'd like to just tell you a little bit about the courses that you take in the one-year program. You get a lot of your sort of basic entry-level, basic skill courses to get you started, things like blueprint reading, health and safety. And then in term 2, you get a little bit about building codes, estimating. But in both those terms, you get a good portion of the time in the lab, actually physically doing things. I would say at least half your time is in the lab. So at the end of that 1 year, you could leave and you'd have a certificate, a college certificate. We also have a 2-year program, and actually the first year of it is the same as the 1-year program. So if you've done the 1-year program, you can continue and do our 2-year program. It is also offered in fall, winter, and spring. And the nice thing about our 2-year program is that there is a co-op placement between the first and second year, depending on when you take the program. Okay, and at the end of the 2 years, you leave our program with a diploma, a college diploma, as opposed to a certificate. And again, you're very well equipped to enter the industry, more well equipped than if you'd just done the 1 year. So some career opportunities after this 2-year program are a little more advanced positions that you could get into. And again, some commercial applications you will have learned in second year, as well as some renovation applications in second year. And that will show up when I show you what you can take in the second year. I just want to stop here for a minute and actually explain co-op to everybody, because if you're coming from high school, it's a little bit different than a high school placement. Our co-op placement is a paid work term, and it is 4 months in length. And you'll be working directly in the industry. And the college co-op department helps students prepare for and apply for those jobs with employers who have registered with the college. And we have historically had a 100% placement rate with our students in the industry for many years now. And we're pretty sure it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future. The construction industry in Niagara is booming, and there are probably more jobs than we can possibly produce students to fill. So that's your co-op placement. And in the second year, as I said, we get a little more advanced courses. You get a little bit of design courses, CAD, building codes again, and commercial construction and renovation construction, and green building practices. Also, again, you spend the majority of your time in the labs with hands-on work. So some of our program highlights, there's a couple of pictures of actually some people working in our lab and one of the projects that our students have been working on. As I said, there's a high demand for the graduates of our program due to the chronic shortage of skilled trade workers in the construction industry. Okay, now I just have a couple of slides here of what our actual campus looks like. If we have time at the end of this session, we do have a really great video to show you as well. We'll see if we have time at the end. So this is the entrance to our main shop, lab, TC177. And when you enter, this is some of the views you'll see. It's a big open space, very flexible, all kinds of activities happen in here, from framing to drywalling to trimming to all kinds of things happen in here. Colin teaches a building foundations course in here with all kinds of different ways of doing it. So you can see that the space is well utilized. One end of it is more for sort of woodworking, and the other end is more of a big open space. And everything has its place, and everything is neat and tidy. We're very big on safety and tidiness. And we have a fantastic technologist who looks after the shop, but also the students are expected to take good care of it as well and keep it tidy. Outside of our shop, we have a compound area or an outside area where we do some outside activities. So you will be experiencing some work outdoors and some things like roofing we do outdoors. And this is one of our projects we're working on right now. It's a small house project. It was actually built in the shop and it's a modular kind of a build. It actually was made in 2 pieces. That was disassembled, moved out of the shop and reassembled out in the compound. And now we're working on finishing the interior of this project. So I'll hand it over to Ian. He's going to talk a little bit about the electrical programs.
Thanks, Annette. Appreciate it. So I'm going to speak fairly briefly about the electrical programs. Niagara College has an electrical techniques program, which we'll talk a little bit about today. In terms of, just one moment, it's a 1-year electrical techniques program, and that program is located at our Welland campus. The Welland campus is our trades campus, and that's where a lot of our construction and electrical programs are located. So it's a 1-year program. You need your grade 12 English and a grade 11 math. So students that are coming out of high school would be looking to gain experience in the electrical field to potentially either apprentice or to build on that education and to look to work, whether it's as a residential electrician or obviously look into commercial electrical or lots of different options. The Welland campus is actually probably about a little bit bigger than our Niagara on the Lake campus, but we've got a lot of our programs clustered so that you guys as students would be experiencing not only the construction program, you'd be working side by side with the electrical program, our automotive program, our green technology program. A lot of those programs are all on the Welland campus. Go to the next slide. The electrical techniques program, like I mentioned, 1-year credential, so it's a 1-year certificate. I mentioned the grade 12 English and then the grade 11 math. So that's grade 12 C or U English, and then a grade 11 C or U math. The math is important. Obviously in electrical, there's lots of different components, whether it's circuitry, the basic math, you will be getting into math in that program. So it's definitely important to concentrate on your grade 11 math and try and learn all of those concepts. So again, this gives you an idea of our facilities. I've been on campus in the Welland campus. I've also checked out other college campuses in terms of the facilities. And I'll definitely say that the electrical techniques students get access to, as you can see here in the photo, just a fantastic facility in terms of wiring, running wires, doing all of the hands-on components that you would be doing in an electrical career. So students are getting the foundational experience. They're learning the basics. They're getting their hands in and on the work. They're working on lots of different projects. Annette mentioned the tiny house project, the small house project. Lots of students from different areas are getting experience doing stuff that they will be doing in their career. So obviously you can see there the career opportunities. So the electrical apprentice, so students would complete the program to give themselves those foundational skills, and then working with the college or on their own, look to find a journeyman or someone who could apprentice them, and they could continue to build on their apprenticeship and complete the further years of their electrical apprenticeship. Different technician programs, lots of different opportunities, but the biggest thing I'd like to kind of confirm with everybody is getting that 1-year certificate really gives you the experience where you would be then beneficial to an employer. You would have the basic skills to be able to be useful on the job, to be able to build your skills on a work site, whether it's commercial or residential. So the other thing I'd like to mention, some students on the call, if you're high school students, you may have taken a specialist high skills major in high school. So that's a SHISM scholarship. Niagara College has a $1,000 SHISM scholarship. So if you've taken a SHISM and you're applying to a construction or an electrical program at Niagara College, you may qualify for a SHISM scholarship. So it's $1,000. You need to complete your SHISM in high school. So complete all the components in high school. You need to graduate, obviously, and you need to have an 80% in the required courses. So for electrical techniques, which I'm chatting about today, that would be your grade 12 English and your grade 11 math. So we're not looking for 80% in all of your courses. We're really just looking for the 80% in those required courses. There isn't a separate application. If you apply to Niagara College and we notice that you have a SHISM and you have the academic, the 80%, that $1,000 would get added to your student account. So it's a great way to build on that SHISM. And a lot of the faculty find that students that are coming in with that SHISM from high school, they've been exposed to some of those construction and electrical courses in high school. A lot of times that gives you a good base to come in and really build on your high school learning with Colin and Annette and the great faculty in our construction and trades programs.
And we're going to quickly turn it over. We're very lucky to be joined by Megan today. She is in the second phase of her program. So she's going to be able to talk to us about what it's like to be in the program, what it was like to study over the last year, obviously with some, we'll call it challenges as per COVID, and then also what it's like for her to continue to be at Niagara College. Thank you so much for joining us, Megan.
Yeah, of course. Can everybody hear me? Is it working okay? Yeah, okay, perfect. So I was asked to speak on 3 different things, why I chose Niagara, what I love about being a Niagara College student, and how I feel supported by the faculty and staff. So initially when I was choosing a college, I was looking for sort of an interior design program, which is completely different than what I actually chose, but I chose this program specifically because without having like knowledge of building practices and knowing how to really like make a building, I really couldn't do any sort of interior design. So I chose renovation. Once I had it set in my mind, I spoke with some people that went to Niagara College and kind of went through their experience and figured out that this was the college for me because it really makes your dreams come true. Like they really do put in all of their effort to make like everything line up basically. And at this point in my carpentry career, I feel confident with my skills to move forward as a tradesperson in the industry. And I'm proud to say that I go to Niagara College. Some of the things that I love about Niagara College is Niagara College has given me infinite opportunities to like really grow as a person and as a carpentry student. I started with absolutely no knowledge of building, not even know how to read a tape measure or anything like that. So you can really come with the bare minimum and really build your way up. What else? So they started with giving me the bare minimum skills and kind of built me into a tradesperson, which I really appreciate. How I feel supported by the faculty is I've been really grateful to go to Niagara College because they have the best staff in the world, really. They're the most giving, loving, and kind people that you will ever meet. They want you to succeed and they push you to the greatness that you can accomplish, which is huge for me. I had like a lot of tough moments through my Niagara College experience, but the staff really like got me through everything and pushed me through the worst times that I had. And I really can't thank them enough for doing all of that for me. Beyond the Niagara College professors, they have a NC-SAC team, which is their student kind of system that, sorry, I'm like, so they're basically the online version of your student success team in a way. They do a lot of like giveaways and different like games online, which has been like really fun. I always sign up all of my friends, which they love and hate, but they have a good time, so it's always good. And it's a good way to get prizes. They advocate for mental health and they're always there just to talk. And if you're really having like a tough time at Niagara College at all, you can always speak to the counselors. They're readily available and it's really easy to get a hold of people. And I've really never felt more cared for than I have at Niagara College. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can feel free to message me at all. And I'm sure I can probably write my email in the chat if you need anything. But yeah, that's everything.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Megan.
Yeah.
We have a question in the chat here, and I think Colin or Annette might be the best people to answer this. So they were asked, what do we think sets the Niagara College Carpentry and Renovation Technician program apart from other schools' programs? What would it be? And I mean, Megan's talked a lot about the student supports. From the faculty side, what do you think sets us apart?
You want me to jump in, Annette?
Sure, Colin.
So, good afternoon, everyone. I've been unusually quiet. It's not in my nature to be quiet, so that's different for me. I've been at Niagara College for a number of years now, and our carpentry and renovation team is comprised of really awesome industry experienced tradespeople. You know, everybody that's involved are people who made choices to be carpenters, designers, electricians, whatever that path was, and have then made a choice to come into the teaching realm and deliver that. So, you know, you have people that have a real legitimate industry depth of experience who are making a conscious choice to sort of spend time and give that back and teach into those, you know, their specific areas of expertise. So I think that is one of our strengths. We have good teaching spaces. We have solid facilities, solid, you know, tools, resources, all of those things we need. And when all those things come together, I just think that we can do a really good job preparing you for your entry into the industry. So I think it's just a blend of a committed team and the right spaces, the right supports. I think it comes together to create a good experience.
Awesome question.
Hey, if I
so again,
talk, it goes quiet, see, yeah.
Let's keep the questions coming, guys. You do have Megan, you have an actual student here, you have Annette and Colin with you as well. Maybe to help facilitate some of those questions, we do have a video for you. Hopefully this will give you a, you know, as best as we can, live in-depth look what the facilities actually look like at Niagara. You may recognize someone from this video, hopefully. So we're gonna get that started up and you'll be able to watch this video with us.
Hi, I'm Colin Robinson, and I'm one of the professors here at Niagara College in the Carpentry Renovation Technician program. Welcome to our virtual tour of our spaces and a bit of an introduction about the program. We are currently in a space formerly known as TC 177. It's our shop space, our lab space for most of the construction hands-on trade-related pieces. And we're going to talk briefly about the program and about what we do here at Niagara and whether that's the right fit for you. So the Carpentry Renovation Technician program is a 2-year program. We also have a 1-year techniques parallel program. And the 2-year technician program offers you the opportunity to achieve a 2-year college diploma while gaining all of the introductory skills and sort of qualifications to enter the construction industry. So we do that with a wide range of courses and content. A lot of that content is specific to getting you that first job, getting you out in the industry, getting you working. And with the range is going to go from blueprint reading and drafting through concrete forming, residential framing, interior and exterior finishes, construction material sciences. Again, this broad collection of courses that are intended to give you that head start to get you into the industry. So, you know, if you are currently finishing high school or perhaps even considering Niagara as an entry to a second career, you're going to want to have that high school diploma with a basic level of math and English, and any tech associated courses are also valuable to get you well prepared and qualified to join us. And the program is, the technician program is a 2-year, 5-semester program. 2 semesters in the first year, a co-op semester, which is a paid work cooperative semester through the summer, or I'm sorry, through your level 3, through your middle semester, and then back for 2 more semesters for us. So again, the program is very much focused on getting you prepared to enter the construction industry. And I'm standing again in TC 77. So this is a space where we do our big box work. We're gonna do framing, concrete forming, drywall, roofing, any of those associated skills, the hammer, sort of carpentry skills. And this is one of our spaces, and we're gonna have a bit of a look around here. Okay, so again, we're in the wood shop end, TC 177 of our shop, and just want to have just a brief look around here. The space is quite large, and we are equipped with really everything that we need to do some quality woodworking, make some interesting projects. So that's going to range from sort of several table saws. We have, I think, 5 table saws in the shop presently. We're going to have bandsaw operations, wood jointer, planer operations. We have in the perimeter and in the distance, we have sanding stations, miter saw stations. We have Bloom mini presses for cabinet making, router stations, We have a series of cabinet maker pieces in here, sort of higher end shop tools that you're really not going to see in the construction carpentry industry, but very nicely equipped with overhead sanders, panel saw, thickness planer, edge bander, all of those pieces of equipment to do virtually any kind of woodworking or woodworking training that we may need to do. And if we kind of glance overhead, you'll also notice that we have a very well outfitted and equipped dust collection system in the shop. So when we're running the dust collector, we can have all of this equipment running, and we're still going to be collecting, you know, the vast majority of that dust, leading to a really sort of clean, healthy workplace. If you look around, you know, at this piece of a virtual tour, the shop is clean. It's always kept that way, both by the dust collector, by our shop technician, and by student practices. We like to keep the shop in a very orderly manner, safer, healthier, everybody does well. Okay, just another sort of point of interest on our shop tour. The industry uses, you know, all of these portable power tools, whether it's a cordless drill or router or sander or skill saw, the pneumatic nailers. All of these things are obviously used in the industry, and they're an integral part of the training that we do. And again, just, I guess, sort of showcasing that we are geared up with everything we need to do quality delivery and to, you know, give you that start that you deserve in your carpentry career. Okay, so just a bit of a capture of some of the other things that we're going to be doing in the main shop space. It's not a wood shop program. We have an awesome wood shop, and we have courses on that. But in a space like this, we might be framing, residential framing out of wood. Another piece that we do in the program, and it's a terrific piece of employment in the future, is the commercial sector. So we'll do commercial steel framing, we'll do drywall, suspended ceilings, floor systems, commercial hardware, some of those parts. And a lot of that work is actually sort of evident and is done on our mezzanine space here on the sort of upper workspace. So we have these different zones and different applications within the shop that allow us to do a real diverse variety of training within the one space. We might have one set of students coming by that are doing concrete forming in the morning, and in the afternoon the space sort of flips over and becomes commercial drywall installation. So all of those different labs can be facilitated within this space. Okay, so we've stepped outside of our shop into sort of a compound space, and we'll use this space, everything from mixing concrete to doing a surveying and building construction layout lesson outdoors. The industry does exist outdoors, and we head out there when it's practical. Bit of a backdrop here, some of the student projects that are always ongoing. Each semester, the course outcomes are the same, the learning is the same, but we're in a constant state of kind of invention and revision about what the projects look like any specific semester. This group of sheds behind me were produced by the students during framing classes and then exterior finishes classes. So the students were able to go through all of the components of framing a small building, and then in their next semester courses, they go through the processes of, you know, how do we install the vinyl siding, make sure the building's waterproof, install the roof treatments, even some very small sort of deck details here. So we incorporate as many of those sort of legitimate real world practices. Even if the projects are a bit scaled down to suit the college environment, the students, you know, go through that entire process. Okay, so we've moved outside, but then back inside. We're actually inside of another student project that's currently underway. This is a 2-component modular small home. I'm not going to use the word tiny house. This is sort of a modest home. And we're doing this as almost a bit of an exploration or an experiment to see if, in fact, we can bring real decent quality construction techniques and processes into a small home market to perhaps address, you know, the need for affordable housing for so many people. And the students have been working on this now for a couple of semesters. And the concept here is that we're going to take all of the standard sort of good industry practices, roll them into a very small 1-bedroom home, and sort of have a look at the cost to both produce that and what it would cost to own and operate that. So a little bit of a looking out type project to see if we can maybe address some of the problems in the community and give the students an interesting project at the same time. So this is the type of thing we're doing.
Hi, my name is Annette Dearling Manchester, and I'm one of the full-time faculty here in the Carpentry and Renovation program at Niagara College, and I'm also the program coordinator. I've had many years of experience in the industry, as well as many years of teaching behind me. Every year we get a great group of students join us. A lot of them come directly from high school, or else they come from other careers and they're thinking of making a change. We're also really delighted when we get a handful of young women joining our program. We consider ourselves to be extremely inclusive here, and really it doesn't make any difference where you've come from. Particularly if you have no experience at all, I don't want to discourage you, because we have lots of students who have never picked up a hammer, never done anything in the industry, and they are just curious about it. So it's the kind of program where you get a lot of hands-on experience, and we also have some really good academic courses, so that when you go out in the industry, you're very prepared for that first job. Some of the more academic courses are things like blueprint reading, drafting, project management, estimating, green building practices is one that we do in the last year, which is a very relevant and current course at the moment. That's always a fun one because we have to keep up with what's happening in the industry. And so you can see that as well as getting a lot of hands-on time in the shop, we do get a lot of time to talk about what else is happening in the industry. Thank you very much for coming to our open house. Certainly if you have any more questions, we are always available to answer them. You can get in contact with any of us or with the program itself. If this is of interest to you, we'd be delighted to see you in our program.
So hopefully that helped provide a little bit more insight. One of the questions we had that popped up in the Q&A that I think would be great to get a student perspective on is somebody asked about going into the fall, what it would look like about courses being split between online or the hands-on course. Megan, from your perspective, what was it like to be a student this year? And did you feel well accommodated with that? What was it like to actually complete course content?
So when I started initially, I thought that everything was just going to be like, it's all in class or all online. So with having a hybrid course, it was really fun to kind of adapt to like being online and being in school, right? Because you'd have some lectures online for your in-class stuff as well as your online courses. But I felt like the balance was really good. I went to school for 3 out of my 7 courses in the first semester and 4 out of the 7 courses in the second semester. But I also felt like the courses that were online were totally doable online. The teachers definitely made commitments to making sure that you really understood what was going on. And even for something like blueprint reading, where I felt like we could have been in class for it, and that really adapted, and she really made sure that you felt like you knew what was happening. So I felt like it was a really great program, and I felt like it was worth every penny. So yeah.
All right, we have another question that's popped up. So we see that other schools include HVAC and plumbing and welding classes with the carpentry and reno programs. Are any of those touched upon through NC's offering of this program?
That feels like a question for me. So we are specifically a carpentry focused program. But having said that, we have a course, excuse me, we have a course in the second year, which is just generically, it's called mechanical installations. And it is an introduction to HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. We've built the course around a carpentry focus. Now, it doesn't mean just framing, just woodworking. You know, I feel within the carpentry sort of realm, we get, you know, exterior vinyl siding, we get drywall, we get roofing, we get all those trades that essentially, you know, incorporate hammers and saws and all those processes. So And the other piece that we do relative to HVAC, plumbing, electrical is through blueprinting, through estimating, through some of these other courses, we are exploring those pieces as part of the building system. If we're talking about managing energy and heat loss and all of these things, we do get into discussing HVAC design, things like that. But it is a component of the course. The program is carpentry driven, but we do have an introduction to all those trades, predominantly so that we understand how they all interact to form a building and how the different trades work together. But it's a course and some components within a carpentry focused program. One piece I always like to put out during these types of events also is, the questions don't have to end in 7 minutes. All of us are available via email. If you reach out to the college, you can access any of us at any time, and we'd be happy to respond or to follow up with any other questions. If you don't have our email specifically, you can just go through the college, through recruitment and these people, they'll get it over to us, or they might answer it themselves. And just relative to kind of, the people that are here presently, myself being Colin Robinson, my email is just crobinson@niagaracollege.ca. So very accessible that way, literally 24/7. I sort of open my email every day, and if there's something I can do, happy to do so.
So again, another question. So there's specific lists of general ed courses that they have to choose from, or can they pick any class offered at the school? So I'd be happy to help with that one. You do have a requirement for a general education elective as you move through. We have a wide variety of general education electives. So many students will look to diversify their interests. Maybe they'll take something like songwriting. Maybe they'll take, an additional math or something that would be more beneficial to their continued career within the trades. So there is some flexibility for students outside of the core courses. Of course, on our Carpentry and Renovation Technician website, you'll see the course listing by semester. So those core ones are the ones that you have to take, and the general education electives actually are fairly varied in terms of the opportunities for you.
Colin, would you mind kind of expanding a little bit on where some of our grads go in terms of local companies, or whether, self-employment or working for larger builders, that kind of stuff? What some of the options are for students?
Sure. The first piece that I'd like to touch on sort of with that topic is that over the entire time that I've been with the college, our program is, I'm going to claim, and this is a number that I've made up, by the way, 100% of our graduates who have sort of done their part and have chosen to find employment in the industry are doing so. They're working in the industry. We have certain grads that might take the program almost as general interest and not find employment. So the actual posted statistics might not seem quite to be 100%, but we have a very, very strong employment history with the students in the industry. And the majority of the students, I think, are heading into the renovation industry. The majority of those students are starting on entry-level positions with local Niagara renovators. It's a very large industry in Niagara, a very busy industry in Niagara, and students are starting in those jobs. We do have a bunch, again, over the years as the numbers increase, we have plenty of students that have chosen to specialize. We have students that have, become a trim carpenter or become a kitchen cabinet manufacturer, installer. We have, I actually mentioned to the panelists, not to the attendees, but I mentioned to the panelists that I'm at my son's house this afternoon because when I'm done this conference call, I have to return to drywalling his basement. And he has a friend who is a grad of our program who ended up joining the drywallers sort of tapers union, and has built a really nice career as a union member, doing commercial drywall, steel studs, ceilings, all the things that trade does, and is being very successful, is having a good run. So the jobs are across the industry. It just doesn't matter. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, kitchens, decks and fences, landscape construction. We have grads represented in all of those areas.
That's perfect. Thanks, Colin. Just gives everybody an idea of where they go afterwards, right? I think everybody has a general idea of what's next, but Megan's probably thinking about that for when she finishes. So it's good to hear. That's great.
Yeah, one of the pieces that I think is valuable from this program is that many people perceive carpentry and construction to be, framing houses. Somebody's going to become, a carpenter, which means they're going to frame a house. And that's a great career, but it is a small slice of the potential employment. And sometimes by design, the program has this broad spectrum of things that we do, again, from roofing to drywall to siding to cabinetry, whatever it is. And students commonly will discover something that they would not have considered to be an employment path and find something they like to do through the college experience. So I think that's valuable also. I have a student, one of my classes right now that I'm teaching this semester is construction surveying and layout. And I had a student in that course ask me this week if that would be an acceptable co-op experience, if they were able to get employment with a surveying company doing that type of work. I responded, absolutely. That would, within the industry is our framework, doesn't have to be swinging a hammer. And that particular student apparently has a good opportunity to join a surveying company for their co-op. I think that would be a terrific experience. There's just a really wide range of options.
Okay, well, that seems like probably a logical endpoint. I don't see any more questions, so we want to really thank everyone for coming today. We really appreciate you being here. We appreciate all the great questions. Please remember that these recordings will be available for you afterwards. Additionally, Colin's given you his email. Megan has also reached out to you as well. So know that we have lots of great support here at NC. And, kind of as Colin was saying, we don't want to just end today. If you have questions, if you do some more research or maybe go home and speak with a parent or guardian, please get back in contact. And remember, the Ask Me Anything is currently live on our website. So if you want to go out and look around or maybe look at some other programs, you're able to do that as well. So thank you everyone for attending. Thank you so much to Annette, Colin, and Megan for joining us and providing all of your expertise. I hope everybody has a great Saturday and a great weekend, and hopefully see you around the campus before too long.